Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope you're all having a fantastic day. Colleagues shared memories, laughter, and tributes. Producers, crew members, and co-hosts embraced her, knowing they weren't just losing a star, they were saying goodbye to a friend. Kelly accepted it all with grace. But the studio lights had never felt so heavy. For decades, Kelly&Ripa had walked on the television sets with an effortless smile, her laughter spilling into living rooms across the world like morning sunlight. She had been the familiar face people woke up with, the comforting voice that softened hard days and celebrated joyful ones. But on this particular morning, something was different. The applause sounded longer, louder, almost like it knew something the audience didn't yet fully understand. Kelly stood still for a moment, her hands clasped together, eyes glistening as she took in the room she had called home for most of her adult life. This wasn't just another episode. This was goodbye, not just to a show, not just to a career, but to a chapter of her life that had defined her, and to step fully into another that meant everything to her heart. Mark, a love that grew in the spotlight. Kelly&Ripa and Mark Consuelos were never just another Hollywood couple. From the moment they met, there was something undeniable between them, an electricity that didn't fade with time, fame, or pressure. Their love story wasn't perfect, but it was real, and in an industry where relationships often flicker and fade, theirs burned steadily, stronger with every passing year. They built a life together while cameras rolled and headlines followed. They raised children, navigated careers, faced criticism, and still chose each other every single day. Kelly often joked on air about their arguments, their differences, their loud debates, but behind the humor was a deep respect and devotion that never wavered. And now, as Mark reached a turning point of his own, Kelly faced a choice she never thought she'd have to make: career or presence, legacy or partnership, television or love. The moment everything changed. It didn't happen all at once. There was no dramatic announcement, no urgent phone call, just quiet realizations that crept in during late-night conversations and early morning silences. Mark was evolving artistically, emotionally, spiritually. After years of pouring himself into acting and storytelling, he felt pulled towards something different, a slower pace, a deeper purpose, a life not constantly dictated by schedules, sets, and scripts. Kelly saw it before he ever said it out loud. She noticed the way he lingered in conversations, the way he stared out windows, as if listening to a voice only he could hear. She recognized that look because she'd worn one herself. And when Mark finally spoke the words he'd been holding back, Kelly didn't interrupt. "I think I need you," he said quietly, not in desperation, in honesty. A decision only the heart could make. For Kelly&Ripa, television wasn't just a job. It was a part of her identity. It had given her independence, confidence, purpose. It had allowed her to grow from a young actress into one of the most recognizable and respected voices in daytime television. Walking away felt unthinkable, and yet staying suddenly felt impossible. Kelly spent nights lying awake replaying every version of the future, one where she stayed on TV, thriving professionally, but missing moments she could never get back. Another where she stepped away, trading applause for presence, fame for fulfillment. She thought about the years ahead, not the next season, but the next decade. Who would she be sitting beside? What memories would she treasure? What would matter when the cameras stopped rolling for good? The answer came softly but clearly. Mark. The farewell no one expected. When Kelly finally addressed the audience, her voice trembled, not from fear, but from love. "I've spent so much of my life here," she said, her eyes scanning the room. "You've welcomed me into your homes, your routines, your mornings, and I will never, ever take that for granted. The studio was silent. But there are moments in life, she continued, pausing to steady herself, when you realize that success isn't about doing more, it's about being present for what matters most. She smiled through tears. And for me, that's my family. That's my husband. That's Mark. Gasps rippled through the crowd. Kelly&Ripa stepping away from television for love. A standing ovation from the world. The reaction was immediate and overwhelming. Fans flooded social media with messages of support, gratitude, and heartbreak. Some couldn't imagine mornings without Kelly's voice. Others praised her courage, calling her decision inspiring, rare, and deeply human.